Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's back, ladies and gentlemen. The football season returns, and with it, the number one football podcast for Nottingham Forest and Middlesbrough Football Club. But the number one football podcast is back. That's right. You heard it. It's back. The season's back. The podcast is back. We get to kick it off with a pre-season podcast. Get everything up and running. Get some predictions for the season made. Get some predictions for the first games made. Predictions everywhere. Even a little bit of betting action going on. So if you fancy a flutter, do what the man says and bet on the... Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, here we go. This is CookieCast. You can't see the forest for the teas. Boom. We're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It's been what feels like an eternity.
It's been a while.
Did we do a lockdown football? I'm sure we did.
Yeah, we did a couple with Matt and Stu, didn't we?
Yeah.
Guests.
Oh yeah, because we had to pick the games towards the end of the season.
Yeah, those podcasts got real meaty when we were predicting 11 games.
Well, that's because they were doing games like every 4 days or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to still be thick and fast this year, isn't it?
Well, they're going to have to try and do the championship specifically, sort of Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, out there every week. So, but anyway, yes, we're back in the studio of sorts.
Yeah.
To bring you some more high quality for this season, championship only football content. Thankfully, Forest decided that they didn't want to go for the riches of the Premier League last season, so decided to shit the bed on the final day and blow any chance they had of competing.
Well, you said it made it awkward for this podcast.
It would have made it slightly awkward for this podcast. So, and obviously, sadly, from a third member perspective, it kind of shits all over Stu's parade. Sorry, Stu. But as I believe, any listeners who've tuned into the Getting Over podcast will know that Stu said that football doesn't exist in his house anymore, so it's absolutely fine.
His words, not ours.
Yeah, exactly. The views of Stuart Woodmansey do not reflect the views of all people connected with this podcast. So, a new season is almost upon us.
Season 3 of this podcast.
Mental.
Well, season 2.5. Because we didn't do it right at the start of the first season, did we? We were sort of halfway through.
No, but what I can tell you is this. People have obviously decided to do a little bit of homework / research, because in the last 2 weeks, the listens and views for the football podcast have just started doing this.
Interesting.
And I'm like...
Now, you see, I can only assume it's people that are just looking for an easy way to make a quick buck. So they're listening to what we predicted as a whole for last season, and then just doing the exact opposite.
Staying away, definitely.
Yeah, sensible. You might actually make a little bit of money if they do that, I suppose. So a new season brings new hope, renewed optimism.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the season that Gravett is going to get 70 goals. So, but we can't do the current season or the coming season without first reflecting on what happened last season. So, I'll defer to you, Mr. Cook, to take us through the big book.
Well, it's just a case of ticking them off. Obviously, tick them all off, because we've got
so there'll be about 50 points for each of us, yeah?
There's one I can see here. Glaring, unfortunately.
The question is between the three of us, have we managed to get pretty much all of it correct?
If you take the best parts.
Yeah. So, from what I can remember, I'm trying to work out if James took the plunge and picked Liverpool to win the league last season.
James?
I think he did.
I think there's absolutely no chance I picked Man City. So yeah, I think I picked Liverpool to win the league.
Yeah, he did.
No!
Obviously, also got a little dig in there by saying he wouldn't have picked Man City like me and you did, Paul.
Yeah, pretty. So he's already a point ahead of us. What a little slag.
I mean, there was no other option, was there?
Well, you could have been mental and picked Man United if you'd had some sort of brain aneurysm or something like that.
Maybe we'll, Oh, we're not predicting Premier anymore.
Yeah, that is one change you'll notice, viewers and listeners, that there'll be no talk of that delicious Premier League this season. That'll be forbidden.
Until we're both in
until one or both of the clubs are within sniffing distance of the Premier League, there'll be no more talk.
Who do you think will be the first to go? No way, we're not getting a playoff spot this year. Because you've done it once.
Hello. Borough will not be anywhere near the play. Spoiler alert for later in the podcast. Middlesbrough will be nowhere near the playoffs this season. So
depends what sensational signings they make.
Well, yeah. Again, more on that to come later.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So Andy, I believe the next thing we may have picked would potentially be the three teams to get relegated from the Premier League. Or do we do top scorer?
I think we only went for one relegation.
Or was it just pick a team to go down?
Was it? Maybe we do it in Andy's order because he's looking like
he's struggling. It's probably best for you to tell us what we've got sort of in order on the book.
All I've got written down here, I don't know if we predicted everybody that would go up for the Premier League, the Championship, League 1 and League 2.
I think we picked one from each.
So I know we did
From the next page I've got relegations.
Right, okay, so that'll be it. So I know that for the bets that we put on, we basically picked the winner of the Premier League, and then, we basically picked the winner of all 4 divisions, and then put it on as a bet.
Yeah.
So...
Okay. And it wasn't a promotion, it was a winner.
Yeah. It wasn't just to be promoted, it was to actually win the division, yeah. So Andy, if you just sort of go off, just give us some listings.
So, 2 of us picked. Nobody picked Leeds.
I'm not convinced anyone picked Brom either.
Well, let's put it this way. No one picked Leeds to win the Championship and Liverpool to win the Premier League because they thought, I don't want to jinx it, I don't want to put the world into Armageddon. So obviously someone somewhere did pick Leeds and Liverpool to win their respective leagues, and they are the reason of the current situation ongoing in the world. So whoever it is, make yourself known and get the punishment you so rightly deserve.
Somebody was reading the Book of the Dead and they got to the last page and it's like, Liverpool and Leeds to get promoted. to win their respective city. Yeah. That sounds interesting.
No one picked West Brom?
I think I may have properly shit the bed and gone for Stoke.
I'm pretty sure I picked Fulham.
You both picked Fulham.
Oh.
Interesting. Apparently, I thought Cardiff was a good shout.
They've just been relegated. Well, both Fulham and Cardiff have just been relegated. Mm-hmm. So
down into League 1.
I bet James picked Sunderland.
No. I'm pretty sure I picked Ipswich.
Oh my god, did I pick Sunderland? Oh no. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh my word!
I went for Rotherham.
Oh!
They did go up, so I'd say give yourself at least half a point for that.
Well, yeah, I'd like to claim half a point for the Fulham that we picked. Yeah. Half a point if you go up rather than not champs.
And all the way down into League 2.
James picked Salford.
Yeah, I remember that.
So did I.
Did I pick Swindon?
No.
Because I think they did win it. No, can't remember.
Scunthorpe.
Oh God.
I don't know where.
I think they finished about 18th. I may have just lost my half a point for picking something so ridiculous.
Yeah, 2 Salfords.
Sadly, no points across the board there.
So what you're saying is we're not getting £1,449.31.
No, but when you turn over your page, we're gonna. Oh, there's something I need to cover on this because I'm not happy with your team for a particular reason.
So relegations from the Prem. Anybody?
Did we pick 1 or 3?
Andrew Cook picked Norwich City.
He did.
1 point.
It's a solid point. Did we pick 1 then each?
Yeah.
Right. I'd love to say that I picked Sheffield United.
You absolutely did.
No. I think I picked Brighton. Also.
No points.
I don't know if you can beat that.
Wakanda Forever.
Did I go Newcastle?
Newcastle!
Did I say Newcastle?
The Toons.
That's probably why I picked Brighton, because I was convinced at the start of the year that it would be Newcastle, Brighton and Sheffield United in the bottom 3. Shit right out there.
So once again, Andy keeping up the good name of the podcast by actually getting something correct. Me and you.
No, I really, really, truly didn't think Norwich should play.
Come on. Right. Championship.
Yes.
Did we pick 3 or 1?
We only ever picked 1 in each division.
Yeah, okay. I think I picked Birmingham.
You did?
I tell you what, this is a good memory. So I've not looked at this book.
Did I maybe say Millwall?
You did.
Wow.
No points?
Where did Millwall finish with? Did they
Like
get up to about
10th or
9th?
something like that,
Yeah.
Now this is the one that's going to sting. Because Andy picked Barnsley, who would have been relegated had they not got a last-minute winner against somebody's team on the second to last week of the season. So that's fine, James. Because as we'll go on to find on, small spoiler alert,
is that the only one that
that's the only one that let Andy down.
Oh,
So,
Norwich. Why? Not Norwich.
Unbelievable.
Right, okay. So, relegated
So,
from League 1.
League One. This was a bit of a. I think this was a bit of a. This is a bit of a gimme because I think Andy picked Bolton, and they'd already been deducted like 20 points or however many points have been deducted.
I honestly have no idea who I picked.
They love their tennis.
MK Dons?
AFC Wimbledon is
AFC Wimbledon. Alright, I was overthinking it. They rebuilt Plowley, don't they? I don't know why I picked that.
Nah, I'm blanking.
don't they?
Southend.
Oh, they got relegated.
Yeah. Southend went down. Points.
Points. All the way into League 2.
This is a bit of a strange one because
Was it finished up on points per?
yes,
game.
but so technically there was 2 teams that were supposed to go down, but because of everything that happened with Bury, they changed all the relegations. So only 3 teams went down from League 1, and only 1 team was scheduled to go down from League 2. So as the season finished, Stevenage were the team that was bottom and got relegated. However, the league did a review and fined Macclesfield and deducted Macclesfield points. So Macclesfield ended up getting relegated. And that's why Andy's got a rather smug grin on his face, because I'm pretty sure Andy picked Macclesfield.
Because I thought I would have gone for Macclesfield, but I guess I didn't if he went for it.
I think I went for Morecambe.
So, hang on, let me think who I might have gone for that. I've got no idea. I thought I would have gone Macclesfield. But yeah, put me out of the mystery.
Cambridge.
Oh,
Cambridge.
don't know where I picked that one.
So just missed out on the money then, yeah.
How much were we looking at there, Andy?
I think Andy's it got revised.
£44.70.
Yeah, it'd have paid for a couple of bets.
Oh well.
So that's our league placings. I believe we also put bets on for top goal scorers in both the Premier League and Championship. Oh dear God.
Before we get to that, because that's a bit more snazzy, I think we put bets on for first Premier League manager to get fired.
Yes, but there's a big cross next to that one because that was settled earlier in the season. And nobody won that.
None of them did it.
None of ours was correct, because I think... Did I have Bruce?
Mm-hmm.
No, I had Bruce.
Oh, no, yeah. James had Bruce. I had Lampard.
Did you say Solskjaer?
I think I might have said Solskjaer.
Oh my
You
God.
did.
I tell you what, Lampard and Solskjaer, pretty good seasons.
Sorry, Andy, me and you just picked the managers that finished 3rd and 4th in the league. Oh dear.
Sure, there was method in the madness.
Who was the first one to go?
Oh, Watford had like 4 managers last year.
Yeah, it must have been Watford, yeah.
Every time.
So,
Top goals.
that must take us to goal scorers.
Top goal scorer in the Premier League.
So, I believe I had picked Sadio Mane.
Indeed.
I'm pretty sure I went for Aubameyang.
You did.
Andy definitely nailed on, went for Aguero.
So,
Did
yeah.
I thought he'd gone for Kane.
No, he's pitching a bit of a tent for Sergio. So, sadly, none of us were correct, but of the 3, James was the closest, as I believe Aubameyang finished 2.
He got a couple on last day.
He was either 1 or 2 behind the actual top goal scorer, which was Jamie Vardy.
I think Aubameyang maybe overtook Ings on last day.
Yeah, well. So, no points there, sadly. And then finally, top goal scorer in the Championship. I'm going to save mine till last because it's an absolute perler.
Did he score any goals?
I think he got like 3 or something like that.
I don't know whether I committed to grab them.
What, with 60 goals?
I don't know if I said him or did I say Mitrovic?
Oh, get over yourself, man.
Did I say grab?
Of course you fucking did. Did he say grabber?
You had to take his penis out of your mouth to say his name, to then go straight back to just
Right, okay.
I'll definitely be ticking the not suitable for children box on this week's podcast.
Can't we just is this where Andy's trying to deflect because he picked?
We don't really need to dwell on who I picked.
Yeah, he went for Brit, which is better than my pick.
Yeah, but you knew you'd fuck that up.
Well,
Surely there was no way in the world you thought it was the whore, right? There's no way in the world you actually thought he was going to be top goal scorer.
Kenneth's a whore. Kenneth's a whore. He was the big money signing at West Brom, and then they just decided just to play Charlie Austin instead. Wankers.
Yeah, I think quite right. Like,
Oh no, worse. Sometimes they play him. Sometimes
Robson
they fucking
Canoe.
Robson Canoe. Jesus Christ.
oh, I'd be interested to see did Robson Canoe score more goals than Salah?
Talk amongst yourself.
Does that bring us to the end of?
That's everything that we predicted, including the
score
managerial stuff.
I mean, I don't think it takes genius to work out Andy's probably won.
Well, yeah, just purely for my relegations, it was 3 out of a possible 4. Just out of the money on that one. And it looks like you and Paul drew with a point each.
So, West Bromwich Albion, top goal scorers, 2019-2020.
Gotta be Austin.
Top with 11. Charlie Austin. Second with 10. Hal Robson-Kanu.
Really? You got 10?
Joint 6th with a centre-back, Kenneth Zahor, with 5. Just put a bullet in my fucking brain. Christ almighty.
Well, we'll see what beauties you got for us.
Awful. That is particularly bad. Particularly bad.
So does that wrap up last year?
I believe is everything done. So, what's better after you've gone through loads of predictions, but making some more? So, as we said at the beginning of the podcast, we're gonna make this more championship focused, as that's obviously where our 2 teams reside. So, we'll just do that. We'll make a not top 3, but the 3 promoted sides, the 3 relegated sides, the top goal scorer, most clean sheets, first manager to be sacked. How's about that?
I'm interested. You've got a plan for this, don't you?
What do you mean?
The manager to be sacked.
Well, that's just because of goings on at the club and so on.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that particular one. So,
Okay.
who wants to open the betting with the 3 promoted sides from the championship? Any takers? Any takers? Shall I go? So I'll get the ball rolling for us.
Go on.
So, champions.
Does it have to be specifically, or
If all 3 go up, then
yeah, all right.
we'll class it as 3 points.
Okay.
So, I think that the league will be won by I was just going to go for the obvious pick, and then I don't want to now.
No, I don't think they'll be champions.
So now for Watford. Of the three that have come down, I think they'll probably be in the best position to sort of keep the majority of the team together and go back up again. They've just signed Glenn Murray, so they've pretty much just like guaranteed themselves at least 15 goals. So if they can keep hold of him and Deeney as well, they've got Andre Gray as well, haven't they? And he's proven at this sort of level. Mm-hmm. So yeah, stick me down for Watford to win it. Am I doing all my three and then we'll pass on to James or to you?
Do it however you want.
However you like.
I'll have Brentford to finish second. Just going to consult my guide.
I'll take that. Might need it.
And to finish in the top 6 and therefore win the playoffs, I would like to take Stoke, please. Is that who you were going to pick?
No, it's absolutely not who I was going to pick.
Oh, well, spoiler alert, I think we might know James is picking to win the playoffs. Oh, okay, that's fine.
No. Do you want me to go? So, I mean, it makes it nicer for the predictions if we pick different teams. But I can't look past Brentford being one of the three. But I reckon, I don't necessarily know where they're going to be.
Right.
So I'll just give you my three.
Interesting.
Or do you really want me to just...
I mean, you could try it. You could try and like sort of narrow it down.
Do you know what? Just to be different to you then, I'll go Brentford to win it. I think they're most likely to get second.
Well, we'll treat it the same as we do for the predictions. So if you get the three correct, you get a point for each. But if you get them in the correct order, you get like an extra point.
Yeah. I will go for... it looks like I'm literally just copying this back. I'm torn between all the three that get relegated. In that I think they could all be crap or they could all have a good season.
Yeah.
But just to avoid going the same as Paul, and I think he'd murder me if I went Bournemouth, I'll go for Norwich second. And at the point when Matt listens to this, he's going to be upset. I will go for Forest as the playoffs. Do you know what? I genuinely think that Forest can have a run at all time.
Oh, God.
If that's handy, can I change it?
Oh my God.
Forest for second, Norwich for playoffs.
Why don't you change it all? Why don't you go Forest to win the league?
Yeah.
I suppose, well, if Graben gets to his expected goals tally of 85 for the season,
He's got back up this year.
There is that.
Sounds like a silly man who would pick Nottingham Forest to win. Yeah, just put Forest in that box, yeah.
No! Maybe. Let's find out. So you got Forest to win the league.
Yeah, I'm working on the principle that they've tasted, and they're just like can't come that close or not. So time to go back up top.
I will be honest. I was a bit worried when I saw transferring around one. That concerns me. Resigned to the fact that Cash.
I'm going with the bees.
It's a fairly solid pick at this particular point.
Yes. I mean, they've done it the right way round. They've already replaced the players that haven't gone yet, rather than letting players go and not replacing. True.
I want someone a little bit more out of left field.
That's what I was looking at. When that's where I got to my Stoke one, because I was thinking, well, they've put together a nice little team as well, so wouldn't be surprised.
Do you think you could go properly out of left field?
Millwall.
No, I was thinking about like Coventry.
Did you just say Millwall?
Yeah. Do you know what? Finished well. They ended the season well. They've got a good manager for that division. So
Basing it on last year. Yeah, this fifth to 15th could be anything.
It's locked in.
I mean, that's always the case in the Championship. But when you look at your Preston, Swansea, Millwall, Blackburn, QPR,
they're all in that
Bristol
sort of,
City.
they're all in that
could do anything.
Like, yeah, we could basically throw a blanket over 10 teams.
There we go. Done. Locked in.
That's the heavy hitters doing. Now it's time to move ourselves to the bottom of the division. And the three unfortunate souls who won't be taking more than a 1 year ride in the Championship. Or for longer than 1 year, shall we say.
We already discussed this, and I can't think who my third one was.
Well, I'll kick us off with. In case you weren't aware, Andy, Sheffield Wednesday start the season minus 12 points. So they've got to win 4 games just to get back to 0.
I think it's worth saying though. We watched something earlier, didn't we? That Wednesday did finish 12 points above the relegation zone last year. So, do you know what I mean? Like, so, you know.
I want to double check that because I don't know if they did.
No, they were flirting with playoffs for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, I know, but it was a case of I think they still had to get something against Borough to absolutely guarantee it.
Well, let me have a look.
And obviously we beat them. So.
Right. Anyway, well, I suppose the spoiler here is that you definitely.
I'm not actually. I have my first team down as Wickham.
Okay.
Stepping down for QPR.
Ooh.
No, you're absolutely right. Wednesday did not finish. I don't understand that. I'm really just lying. What's that window? Is that Amy showing a window?
It's the window we're out, it's a bit rattly. And the third team I would like to pick to go down is Coventry.
So, sorry, you went Wickham,
QPR, Cov.
QPR is a bold claim.
They keep losing players. So I don't think they've got enough players to actually sort of get them through the bloody season.
Wickham, QPR. So you didn't go for Wednesday?
Didn't go for it. I reckon if they can put a couple of shrewd signs together, they might have enough to get out of it. So, plus, if you think about it, it's only 4 wins. And in theory, if they have a good start to the season, they could basically be level on points with like a team like Wickham or Rotherham.
See, you're really adamant that Wickham are going to be terrible.
I just think they can be. So
and I'm swayed by that, but it'd be nice to remove Wickham from it and just go for the South Yorkshire trifecta.
So, James is now about to pick the Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley triangle. Nice.
Let's go for it.
Yeah?
Yeah. But he tells me Wickham are absolutely going to shit the bed.
Well, just wait. So, read that stat out loud.
Pass completion rate promoted Wickham in League One last season, the third tier's lowest.
So
55.5%. They had some weird stats going into that playoff game.
So Wickham won the playoffs last season in League One to get up to the Championship. They had the lowest pass completion rate of any team in that division. So, it's just higher than 1 in every 2 passes didn't make it to its intended target. And they're going into a division. They're going into a division that's higher. So they were already the worst passers in the division. They're going to get absolutely torn to fucking pieces.
Have they recruited?
They've signed some people, but yeah, no, not for me. They're going to be cannon fodder. Anyway, Andy, round us out of the relegated trio.
So I managed to pick 3 completely different ones. I mean, it's a brave man who doesn't pick any of the 6 weeks.
Huddersfield.
I mean, out of all the ones that we haven't picked, Luton's the one that
Huddersfield cheeky.
I've already put Sheffield Wednesday down. I wrote them down almost immediately. I think
a bit of a no-brainer.
It is a sensible pick just because of the points deduction alone.
it's an uphill struggle from the very start. So
Yeah,
it's a
behind the
sensible
8 ball,
pick.
if you will.
I like Barnsley. I like the shout on that one.
May I just remind you, Andy, you were burned with it last season.
I know, but you know, second time's a charm.
The only thing is, Forest aren't going to let him down this year because they're going to win the league.
Just you wait for when I'm picking Grabham for his 70 goals.
Do you remember at the start of last year when I was like, "Oh, we're finishing the season with Barnes and Stoke"?
But I'm back wanting something a little bit out of the box, and unfortunately,
an option.
So,
John option.
Luton were discussed as, so they were down there for pretty much all last season, and then just basically put together a little bit of a run.
I don't see that as a left fielder though.
Bristol City?
I was going to go Reading.
Reading?
Bristol City has already come up. When I've been looking back, I was like, Bristol City, maybe.
So, all these stats that we're discussing are taken from 442's season predictions. So, Bristol City, after flirting with the playoffs last season, and now they're tipping them to finish 16th. So they're tipping them to have a bit of a drop off.
Who got a job there?
They did say Dean Holden or something. I don't even know what he's doing.
Oh.
If you're looking for a proper outside bet, based on last season,
Borough.
I mean that's not a terrible shout.
Do you know something? And he might hate me for it, but I nearly put Hull down.
To get relegated again?
Because
They're gone.
are they gone?
They got
They
relegated.
finished bottom.
That's what we're saying. So if we get him on, we can add him on as a guest, but he can't do any predictions because his team isn't playing in this division this year.
Love to get him on as a pundit then.
Yes, we'll get him on for his completely impartial opinion. Yeah, can't pick Hull. They've already slid. What I was going to say was a slightly outside bet would potentially be Huddersfield. They fit into your Yorkshire theme as well. Oh, there you go. You could also go for 3 Yorkshire teams to go down.
South Yorkshire.
I've got history with Huddersfield. I'm going with them.
To be fair, they've sacked their manager. They've lost a couple of players, so it's not a terrible shout.
I suppose the left field one could have been, and you would have loved it. Well,
If Bournemouth go down, I'll do something outrageous on the podcast. Just be to see them back where they belong.
could this be like one of those times where they do like a bet involving tattoos?
Something like that. No, it wouldn't be a tattoo. It'd probably be a removal of clothing or something like that, which no one wants to be seen. No, not happening.
What?
Tell you what, I'll make a
Eyebrow shade?
No, I thought we were going for the Tyson style tattoo around here.
Oh, right. So
was going to say was I'll go mental and say that if Bournemouth go down, I won't cut my hair for a full year. Also, I'll have cornrows or something put in. But oh god, I just hate them so much. They're such a little tin pot club. Back down where they belong. Get back down to League 2. Right. So that's the predictions for relegation done. So next we would move to top goal scorer. Should refer back to my book.
This is tough. Now, do we only get the point if we get it on, or is the top goal scorer whoever does the best out of our three?
Well, for last season we just basically sort of gave a point if it was correct.
Right.
So I'd say you probably have to bang on.
Bang on then. That's hard.
Bang on.
There's 2 Ks in Pookie.
Oh, fuck off. Jesus Christ.
It's Joe. It's difficult for me.
Because you can't see past Grabham.
With the league. But it seems nailed on that Ollie Watkins is leading.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Do we think Tony can score the goals?
Possibly. Who's going to be playing up front? Stoke. Bear with me.
Stoke? They said Fletcher.
No one in their right mind is picking Stephen Fletcher to be the top fucking goal.
No one in the right mind is picking a Stoke player. I'm going to have that after you. What are you thinking, Andy? There's a bit of a change around with Championship strikers, aren't there, really? So, if you were thinking, I'll just look back through my predictions for last year. I don't know how much you're going to get.
Absolutely the way I was going to do it.
So
to put you in the picture, I was going to say just to Paul there, he seems pretty sure that Ollie Watkins is going to leave Brentford for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now,
so he's been in theory, his replacement is a guy called Ivan Toney who's come in to replace him in theory.
I mean, Ben Rama gets in the goal, but I'm not convinced he's going to be there.
Hugo's just gone to Norwich.
I say.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think who would be Norwich's others. So who did Norwich have last year that wasn't Duke up top? Did they slot Rhodes last year?
I think. I don't know.
Because they bought Rhodes in the Championship season.
They only loaned him.
Did they? Yeah. Did they loan him as the flagship and then they bought Pookie on the cheap?
Well, they got Pookie.
Pookie worked out.
They got Pookie on a free.
Right. Where's Rhodes in there?
Chef Wednesday still? I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's your pick. Get relegated with the top goal scorer.
I wonder if that's ever happened. Happened in the Premier League. I'm going to go for a bit out of left field to tie with my Stoke pick. Sit me down for Sam Vokes.
Oh God! Do you really think
you heard it here first?
You're going all in on Stoke at this point, aren't you?
Yeah. That's going back to Premier League.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, in pre-season, he's hit the ground running. Oh, Britta Sombalonga, looking very tidy in his new role as captain.
Who was the captain?
Really?
Britta.
Yeah.
Friend towards him.
Alright, okay. Got a bit of a strange one. You any closer to Anything, Andrew? I can't believe he didn't, double down on Zaha.
He was at West Bromley, Bob.
So yeah.
Unless he's been sold.
That's right, yeah. Ooh, that's interesting.
Talking of him going to West Brom.
Oh.
So. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm waiting to see what Andy's come up with.
It's such a little bitch. Just pick one.
Just out of interest,
Yeah.
Derby's still in the championship.
You got even was that? He didn't score many goals. He plays in midfield for him, you say. I don't know what Paul feels like on that one.
Go on.
I can't. He asked the question of Derby still in the championship. I think the obvious pick is I don't know. Rooney might get you some pens.
He's not. So they're not playing Rooney up top. Is the thing. So he's playing as like a holding midfielder. So goals aren't really what he's offering or bringing to the table.
I was having a little look at Wagon. I don't think I bring myself to pick a Derby.
Just have done with it. Stop, James. Stop pissing about and just pick Lewis Graham.
I'm not.
Just say the two words. Everyone's waiting to come out of your mouth.
Well, quite honestly, if you discount the people who are leaving, he probably is the highest scoring forward left in the championship last year.
Let's put it this way. When was the last time the top scorer for the championship the season before wasn't then playing in the Premier League the next season?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
I'm the next two. I'm torn between these two.
I don't even think he'll still be there.
Do you not?
No, I reckon they might sell him.
It's hard because you've really got to take a on what team is going to go well.
This is the thing. Because
he started out cracking last year, and then dried
so
off.
This is where this is where I've gone into my sort of, because I've picked Stoke to be my sort of surprise team.
Yeah,
I've gone all in now. So,
right, based on what you've said to me,
you're gonna pick Hugo, aren't you?
I am.
Fucking hell. He was so shit at Borough. So fucking
He
wank.
got goals at QPR last year. He did.
He did. But,
and also, I wanted to leave Gavin frantic. Obviously, going on for it again. If he's the captain, it's a statement of intent for game time at least.
Well, I mean, there's absolutely no debate. He's not the number one striker.
But he wasn't always the starting striker last year.
No.
You make him captain. If he's fit, he's going to start.
Yeah. So if he's fit, he should start every week.
But that wasn't last year, though. He
wasn't fit. But
was that all just fitness thing, or was it? Yeah, it was not know what their best.
No, when he was fit, he was starting. It was the fact that he just couldn't get fit at the time.
Name keeps cropping up in the book.
Okay.
Wallace.
Wallace.
What team?
For Millwall.
Jed Wallace. I think he plays as a winger. Let me just double check.
And if it crops up in the book, my only thing I'd say on that one is we did really well at predictions last year.
Well,
if it crops up in the book, you'll only be getting Gavin down.
In the magazine, it does say, can Millwall crack the top six? An excellent goalkeeper, solid spine, and bona fide match winner in Jed Wallace. So, I don't think he's not a striker, so he's not going to score you loads from a conventional standpoint. But that's not to say that he can't score goals. It's a punt. Let's put it that way. He'll be way down the list on Sky Bet.
Who did you go for your 3 promoted teams?
Millwall.
Was it Millwall?
Millwall's in.
Right.
Their main striker is a guy called Matt Smith, and he's an absolute lump.
Not a Doctor Who thing.
No. He just basically.
So at this point in time, I'm left with Grabham or Brit.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
The only reason I didn't go Grabham, right, is they've actually got all the striking options this year.
Do you want to give you Sky Bet's top options as top goal scorer?
Oh yeah.
Can you give us from 5 to 1? Just so it's
not one to not. No,
I don't want to hit the favourite first. Yeah.
So 5th favourite, Jordan Hugel, 16 to 1. 4th favourite, 14 to 1, Lewis Grabban. Joint 2nd favourite at 10 to 1, Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney. Now, obviously, they're joint favourites because, in theory, only one of them is going to play.
Yeah.
And there's always the possibility that Watkins might not even be there. So, favourite.
Wait.
Potential outside for you. 22 to 1. Dominic Solanke.
Ooh.
So he plays for Bournemouth, just been relegated.
I was just trying to think who'd be starting strikers for Bournemouth.
If you're bothered, Brit is 25s.
Is the favourite?
You've already mentioned him. You went for his strike partner instead.
Is it Timo?
Pookie, 7 to 1 favourite.
You put me off that. Say we'll play onto Hugo.
What are you thinking, Andy?
The book has been filled in. It's Lewis, I'm afraid.
Wait, what have you gone for?
Lewis.
Yeah. Solid shout.
The grab ham.
He's a proven goal scorer, so.
It's just I think if we're going to have a decent push this year, the goals need to come from somewhere that's not Grab.
Need to spread them out a bit more.
And they've signed a couple of. I mean, I don't really know much about Freeman, but presumably he does what he'll
be supplying the bullets.
But they have signed. So when he was fit, Taylor was good last year. He scored a lot of goals early on for Charlton. And there's talk of us, he's kind of seems to have gone a bit quiet about signing Jukovic. So.
His name was in the book a few times.
Scored a few goals for Birmingham the last couple of years.
Yeah. So what have we got left to predict for the season?
First manager to be
First
sacked.
managerial firing.
Yeah, so what we would. So there's no point in picking the actual manager. We might as well just go for the club. Just be easier, because rather than you having to sort of like do the search through to see who the actual manager is.
And it's going to be easy because I just need to write Borough down 3 times, yeah?
Well, obviously.
3 times?
So, nice and easy for me. If they don't start well, obviously because they're already behind the 8 ball with the points deduction.
Chef
Wednesday. So it's Gary Monk. So that keeps it on topic because he's an ex-Borough manager.
James?
Love Colin, but I think they don't. Your lot don't seem to pull the trigger very quickly.
No, but he has done when he's needed to in the last couple of years.
Do you know what? I'll go for because he's completely unproven as far as I know. The fella at Bournemouth.
Tisdale, is it? Jason Tyndall.
like you say, if they don't have a great start, they'll get worried.
Like I said to you earlier, it could be a Ferguson Moyes situation. You've got a new guy who comes in, takes over from the guy who's been there for a long time. Players maybe don't buy into the ideas.
Yeah. Well, it's different ways.
Chairman starts to get an itchy trigger.
You look at when Ranieri left, and Shakespeare did good things, and then
didn't last much longer the following season, did it? So. Andrew?
Guess I'm just writing Middlesbrough down once then.
You think Colin's gone?
Yeah.
I think the only thing I'd say is that because of how he did towards the end of last season, and
bought a bit of time,
and he gets on well with the chairman, so he had like a bit of a relationship with the chairman before he came in as the manager. I think there's that sort of that will allow him to have a little bit more rope, leeway, however you want to sort of spin it, really. I think he'd have to literally lose the first 10 games on the spin, which now that I've said it, I mean,
again, keeping it slightly on topic with the Borough link, isn't the guy that's paying Karanka's wages pretty ambitious? Doesn't he see that as a big club that should be places? Yeah.
Yeah?
Wasn't he quoted? Am I not the right pub here? Was he not quoted as like saying that the aim there is like Champions League football?
Oh God, was it like Champions League in 5 seasons? Where I was like, ooh.
So is there the potential for Karanka to have an immediate impact? That could be one.
There was a joke back in the day when Darlington got taken over by George Reynolds, and so this is Darlington, who at the time were playing in League Two.
So when
average gate of about 3,500-4,000 fans per week. So he decided to build them a new stadium, fit within the parameters, build it for the amount of fans they've got. Yeah. So you'd think for a team that's getting roughly less than 5,000 a week, you'd say build it for about 10,000.
You're never going to build a smaller stadium than 10,000.
Aim to sort of double your attendance for that. No, just go straight in with a 25,000 seat stadium.
Leaving all those spare seats for all the tumbleweeds.
He was very shocked when they were unable to fill it.
Did they stop playing there?
They had to stop playing there because they must have only played there for a couple of seasons. Got to the point where they'd sold. At first, they'd just sold season tickets wherever anyone wanted to buy them. So they basically had all 4 stands open, and there was about 8 people in each fucking section.
You've got more catering staff.
Yep. So got to a point where they had to pull from their season tickets into the same sections, so they could close different parts of the ground because they weren't in use. The club then went out. Well, the club got relegated. Eventually went bust because they had too many debts, and they've had to move. But apparently,
like an electric bill for the station?
Something like that, probably. They've since this season applied to the football. Well, not the football league, because they're not in the league, but they've applied to the FA for permission to move back to the 25,000 seat stadium to aid with social distancing.
So they can have the full 4,000
because they've said that they've said to them, obviously all the clubs are having to run at reduced capacities to keep in line with the social distancing.
Is it approximately like 10% of capacity?
I think so. So they've said that their ground that they're at the moment, I think, can hold a maximum of about 3,000 people. And they're saying that their season ticket sales alone are more than the capacity that the ground will be able to run at. So they've said that if they can move into their old stadium, they'll be able to accommodate all of their fans. So they wanted to do that.
Obviously, it's a cheeky shout, but I get it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Obviously, from a local perspective, this is supposed to be the first season that York will be playing at the new community stadium up at Monk's Cross.
Indeed.
So you've also got that to sort of factor in, that will probably be in a similar position that there have been people that would have bought season tickets based on the fact that it's the first season at the new ground.
Yep.
And that'll have to be decided and stuff like that. One thing I did see was that Arsenal had said they're going to trial having fans in for their second home game of the season in October, and they're going to do it.
Presumably they've applied to.
Yeah.
You have to get the dispensation.
And they're going to do it by a ballot. So all of the season ticket holders will be put into a draw, and then the ones that get picked out will be the ones who are allowed to take part in the trial. And I think they were saying that they're going to try and operate at about 2,500 or 3,500.
And that's not
which is
many
like
for a big
5%.
stadium.
Yeah, it's like 5% of the stadium capacity.
Because they did it at Brighton last weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, Brighton had a pre-season friendly against Chelsea that they operated with 2,500 people. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be a challenge for the coming season. Let's put it that way.
Is there any more season predictions to do?
That's it for season-long predictions.
Okay.
However, the first game of the season is within the week.
It is.
So, in the time-honoured tradition of the podcast, we'll start with the first game of the week, which just so happens to be the mighty Borough, taking on the not quite as mighty Shrewsbury Town, or Shrewsbury Town, depending on where you're from.
I'd say Shrewsbury.
I'd say Shrewsbury, so I don't know why I said Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I was surprised when you changed.
Yeah. So Middlesbrough versus Shrewsbury in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Gentlemen, who wants our first crack?
I mean, I know absolutely shit all about Shrewsbury.
Don't surprise me.
We'll go with Borough easing into a 2-0 win.
Goal scorers?
Mentalist.
Britt and Fletcher. Still there, right? Yeah. Well, you don't think they're going to win? God.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Just 1-0.
Okay. 1-0. So
And Brit to score.
it is. So it's a one-legged tie, as has been the agreed thing for all games now.
One leg's no replays.
One leg, no replay. If the tie is level after 90 minutes, no extra time.
Obviously, straight pens.
Goes straight to
Is
a
that
penalty
just the
shoot.
Caribou? Is that FA as well?
I don't know. Don't know.
Right.
So, can I have a 1-1 draw, please?
Oh.
And Borough to just shade it on penners.
Goal scorers.
Yeah, I thought you might ask that.
Mm.
No many Shrewsbury Town players here?
Yeah, they're actually my second team, so just bear with me. Stick me down for Tavernier to get the Borough goal. And then if you two just talk amongst yourselves.
Well, we've not really talked about it. I mean, has Borough's squad changed much?
They've released 8 players from the squad from last season. I mean, one of them was recruited instead. So,
Where's he gone?
surprisingly enough, hasn't gone to the club. Who would have thought that a striker who's barely scored in 3, 4, 5, 6, however many years you
We
want
need
to
someone to lump it up to.
Wow.
Take
There you go. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Signing late in the transfer window, Rudiger Stead to Nottingham Forest.
No, because if this podcast takes off, that might be like one of those fake rumours.
Bit of fake
That'll be
news.
amazing.
Yeah. That's maybe what we should be doing, just making absolutely outlandish claims.
Quite possibly. Oh my word! So Shrewsbury have got a defender called Roshawn Williams.
Right, well, he's the goal because it's Williams. Funny name.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that. Oh,
Wow.
we've got Josh Miller. They've got a guy who used to play for Pools.
No ex-Borough in there to score against them, man.
Not that I can think of. Stick me down for Daniel Udo.
Score many goals, does he, Daniel?
Not a fucking. Oh, it doesn't even have his stats for last season.
Lovely to start. Maybe a year on.
He won't even be in the squad. Oh, this will be tremendous. Right, and then we move on to the following day, where we travel to South Yorkshire, home of all 3 relegated clubs from the Championship this season, apparently, where Barnsley will take on Nottingham Forest in the first round, the Carabao Cup.
Well, I'm going last time.
Yeah, I'll start us off. Let me just change up the bet, and I'll get mine going. So I had 1-1. Then Barnsley versus Nottingham Forest. I will also go 1-1. Goal scorers, I'll have Corley Woodrow for Barnsley.
Okay.
And Taylor Forest.
Oh, you think he's going to play straight off the bat?
I reckon I want to see him up top. I reckon I want to see him without Rabbit to see if he can.
I think he
For
scored.
your book, Andy, if you want to put it down, the Borough 1-1 is 13-2. The Barnsley 1-1 is 5-1. So my double is 44-1. Love the 2 goals. Right.
What was it again? Sorry, 44-1.
44-1. So your Borough Shrewsbury was 1-0 Borough, yeah?
Yeah.
What are you going for Barnsley Forest?
0-1. And to get my goal scorers rolling.
Well, they won't count because it's the cup.
Yeah, this isn't the cups. This won't count towards his league tally.
Yeah, but
So Borough 1-0 is 6-1. Forest 1-0 is 8-1, giving Andy a double of 62-1.
I'm also going to go 0-1.
And yours was 2-0 Borough?
Yes. 0-1, and I will go with Mr. Joseph Lolly.
Joseph. Full Christian name.
Yeah.
0-1. So as previously discussed, Nottingham Forest 1-0 is 8-1. Middlesbrough 2-0 is 13-2, giving James a double of 66.5-1.
So I've just edged him.
Just edged him. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our first bets for the season are in.
Good.
Tune in next week to see if we've got some money to play with for the next couple of weeks.
or to laugh hysterically at what we end up with.
Basically just laugh at how quickly my money runs out this season.
Point and laugh.
Do we want to save until next week to maybe preview changes in each of the squads?
Yeah, because that would be nice, because Borough might have signed some people by then.
Well, I mean, you can just preview everyone you've lost. If you like.
So, let's put it this way. Birmingham have signed more ex-Borough players than Borough have signed new players in this transfer window.
Well, I found it weird that when we were looking at transfer rumours earlier, that you were saying that you've got that small squad, but three of the senior squad are keepers, but they're linked with 2 more keepers as their transfer target.
Listen, everyone knows that the spine of a good squad starts with 5 goalkeepers.
5 goalkeepers.
I mean, granted, presumably the 2 they're linked with, you'll just get one of those 2.
I'm sure they wouldn't buy both.
What are you gonna do with the ones you've got?
Put them in the tea room? I don't know. Jesus, get them to put the cones out at train.
Well, I mean, if we're allowed back in the stands, I mean, granted, yeah, away supporters are going to do the last one thing, aren't they? Can I need Ainsley to be in the squad?
Well, we'll see what happens. There you go.
There you go.
First one checked off for the new season.
In the history books.
Aren't you lucky? Aren't you lucky, you people, with all this beautiful, delicious, Moorish content like crack? What? Huh?
Well, I mean, they keep coming back, so there's some sort of drug involved. Right.
So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. All done and dusted. Season 3, Episode 1. Done. Tune in next week for Episode 2.
Episode 2. Return of the Return podcast.
Mac.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Episode 2. What? Star Wars Episode 2.
Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back. Oh! Now I'm thinking old school.
Attack of the God-awful movie.
Film's better than me.
Because you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Bye. So there you go. What do you think of that? We're back. Back with a vengeance. Died with a vengeance. No, not that. Just back. Okay. Cool. YouTube watchers, do subscribe. Be a love. Love you. And everyone else, jump over to thecookiecast.com. Drop us an email. Tell us how you're getting on. Tell us, excited for the season? Absolutely. Tell us how excited. So yeah. So that's it for this one. Join us for many, many more of these. And until next time, I'm going to say bye. And I'll see you then. Bye.